What's up, everybody? It's your boy Big Papa JT, and I'm back with you guys for another video. Before I begin, make sure to like the video and subscribe. I upload NFL videos and college football videos daily, so make sure to subscribe. So let's get into it. Alabama versus Oklahoma. It somewhat lived up to the hype. Somewhat. It was a high-scoring game, and Oklahoma's defense failed my expectations. I knew they were bad, but I at least thought they could get a turnover. And I at least thought they could break up some passes. But did you know how many incompletions that Tua threw tonight? He only threw 3 incompletions. The ball only touched the ground 3 times. 3. That's pathetic. I mean, I know their defense is bad, but I think that has to be the worst defensive performance I have seen out of Oklahoma all year. And they've had some bad ones, but this is just terrible because the dude only threw 3 incompletions. It's like him and his wide receivers were playing football on air, literally. So bad, I don't know how they were lucky enough to be down 21-0 after the first quarter. Because basically everybody thought they was just going to pass the sticks. So in the first quarter, the scoring summary, it was 21-0. I thought they was knocked out, but somehow they managed to get 10 points. Then it was 31-10 going into halftime. And then their defense kind of showed some life in the third quarter, not allowing a single point. And then they climbed back into the game. And then in the fourth quarter, the defense did what they were doing back again in the first half of the game, and allowing Alabama to pull away with the lead. What the biggest thing was, in the first quarter, they couldn't stop the pass. And after the first quarter and in the second half, they couldn't stop the run. And Jacobs had a monstrous day. I mean, dude was terrorizing Oklahoma. I don't know what it is with Oklahoma and their defense. They have 4 5-star guys on their defense. Their corners actually, number 44. I know his name, but I have a hard time pronouncing it. But I know his nickname is Buki. I don't know where he was on the field, but if he was playing, you couldn't tell that he looked like a 4-star, 5-star. He was ranked the 3rd or 2nd best corner last year, and he didn't look like one because you couldn't even find him on the field. When we look at the team stats, everything is what we thought it would be. These guys almost put up nearly 1,000 yards of offense combined. Alabama had 528, 328 passing yards, 200 rushing yards. Nobody turned the ball over. They controlled time of possession, which we expected because Oklahoma could not stop the run. They were 6-7 in the red zone and 7-10 on third down. Anytime you have that good of a third down percentage, you're most likely going to win the game. Oklahoma had 471, 308 passing yards, 163 rushing yards, no turnovers, had the ball for 23 minutes. They were 5-5 in the red zone, and they were 6-13 on third down. And when we look at the player stats, Tua, 24-27, 318 passing yards, 4 touchdowns. Jacobs, 15 carries, 98 rushing yards. He had a receiving touchdown. Damian Harris had 13 carries, 2 rushing touchdowns, 43 yards. Smith had 6 receptions, 104 yards, and a touchdown. And Isaiah Buggs was him and number 92. I think his name is Quentin something. I'm kind of tired, but yeah, Oklahoma didn't really have an answer for them. Kyler Murray, he started out the game slow, but he kind of carried this Oklahoma team on his back. He was 19-37, 308 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns. He had 109 rushing yards on 17 carries and 1 touchdown. He led the team in rushing. CeeDee Lamb had 8 receptions for 109 yards with 1 touchdown. And Murray, not Kyler Murray, not the quarterback, I think his name is Kenneth Murray. He had 14 tackles and 1 tackle for loss. I think what made Oklahoma get out to such a slow start on offense is simply for the fact that Marquise Hollywood Brown was a non-factor. He was targeted 4 times, had 0 receptions, and we could obviously tell that he wasn't 100%. He wasn't even close to me. He didn't even look like he was 50%. He just looked like he was just a non-factor. So I think that's a big reason why they lost, but I think that's only 25% of the reason why they lost. Another 5% is that they got out to a slow start. If they was going to win this game, they were going to have to go tick for tack. When Alabama scored, they had to score, and that didn't happen. And for the rest of the blame, 30%. So 70% you can just blame how terrible the defense was. Tua only threw 3 incompletions. That's pathetic. And yeah, Oklahoma once again loses in the first round of college football playoffs because they don't have a defense. We saw this last year against Georgia, and we're seeing it now this year against Alabama. They couldn't stop the run against Georgia, and they couldn't stop the run against Alabama. And I knew the defense was terrible, but the reason why I chose Oklahoma to win was because I at least thought with their corners that they should at least be able to make some kind of plays, make a turnover, do something. Dude only threw 3 incompletions. They were basically playing 7-on-7 with nobody playing, just playing catch. But yeah, so that's it for this video. Make sure to like the video, comment. You guys can destroy me because I know I chose Oklahoma to win. You guys can go ahead and destroy me, and make sure to subscribe. Before I end this video, I'm going to make sure that I'm not an Oklahoma Sooner fan. I promise you guys I'm not. I wasn't being biased by my pick. I just thought Oklahoma had a good chance to win because of how Ohio State beat Michigan. But obviously, as we saw earlier, Michigan got annihilated by Florida, so they wasn't as good as I thought neither. But I thought if you had a good offense, it could override how bad your defense was, but obviously not in Oklahoma's case. I would never ever choose Oklahoma. I would never ever bet on them. I would never ever choose them ever again with the way their defense played. They played terrible. 3 incompletions. That's all